What's up, you guys? Before the video gets started, if any of you guys would like free slots for any drop this weekend, please DM me at apexboom_ on Twitter. And this is completely free. It doesn't matter whatever drop it is for this weekend. Just go ahead and DM me and I will get you guys situated. What's up, you guys? Apex Boom. Welcome back to the 4th episode of the Task Setup series. Today we will be going over the Yeezy 350 V2 Israfil drop that is happening this weekend. And this video is going to be a little bit different because we're going to be setting up with multiple bots this time instead of just one, which is NSB. But as always, the setup is still the same. You can just take it and apply it to whatever bot you're using. It doesn't have to be this particular bot. Now we're going to be starting off with Shopify, which NSB supports. So you guys should know the general basis by now and how I flow with things. We're going to start with Undefeated because that is one of the earliest sites to drop. And starting with keywords, as you guys know, you can be a little bit more general with these type of keywords when Yeezy products drop because they're easier. You don't have to worry about them putting in one particular name or something how they typically do for like Jordan products or other products with Undefeated. They're very particular, but you can be a little bit more lenient with Yeezy products. So for keywords, we're gonna do Yeezy 350, Israfil, minus kids, minus GS, minus PS. Now you don't really have to do this, but minus friends and family, just to be safe. You don't have to do this, but I just always like to do that with any Yeezy product. Dropping on any site doesn't matter as a safety precaution. You don't have to do that, but that's just what I do. Now we could come and make a second set, but honestly I don't think there's really a need for it. You can if you want to though. Like I'd say just like Yeezy 350, that'd be fine too. Like I said, just always be sure to test your keywords before you actually run your actual profile. Use a fake profile first, so that way if nothing picks up, you're good to go. All right, now for task mode, you guys already know there's going to be anti-bot. So Shopify 3.0, Cyborg 3.0, Cyborg 3.0 is the way to go. Now you can always, with this time around with Yeezy drops, you can go for specific sizes if you want to. I don't know if they'll be dropping sizes 4 and up for Undefeated, but just in case, hypothetically, if you wanted to, you could do like 5.5, 6, 6.5, 7, and then go bigger, 11, 11.5. Now the comment separates them, so it'll choose any size throughout all of these sizes that you have specified in the size tab. You can do that if you want to. And for the number of tasks, I leave that as 1 because, as you know, you need to sign in with Undefeated. So I like to keep it at 1 task per login. Now you can do 2 tasks, that's completely fine, but I always leave it at 1 task per login. So I'm just gonna leave that alone. No proxy and our billing profile type. We're gonna head over to the advanced section. You guys should know this. Hey, we gotta flow with it. 10,000 milliseconds for the delays. Drop them 30 seconds to 1 minute before the drop goes live to 2600 or anything higher that you're comfortable with. And the most important thing you cannot forget with Undefeated, have to log in. If you don't log in, you're not gonna cop squat because you won't even get past the login page to be able to actually cop. All right, there we go. I don't typically use the share monitor, but you can. I always leave it clicked off though because I don't know. I just like to keep my tasks dialed in. I don't want any unexpected hiccups happening while I'm away or if I'm asleep or anything like that. So I always have that ticked off. All right, we're gonna submit that. Boom, now we have our task created for Undefeated. Now let's go ahead and go to Kith, hypothetically. And I always use Kith as the example. This, when I always use Kith, this goes for all Shopify sites that if it's, no matter if it's social status dropping, Haven Shop, APB Store, Jimmy Jazz, DTLR. This goes for all of them. It's just like on a whole general scale. So keywords, literally carbon copy, the same thing. Yeezy 350, Israfil, Israfil, minus kids, minus GS, minus PS, minus F, and F. Now if you want to, you could also put in Yeezy 350 V2. That's completely fine. That is more than fine if you want to do that. Either way should be perfectly fine though. As you guys know, we're already set on Cyborg 3.0, which is anti-bot. We have our sizes already inputted. Number of tasks, we're going to do 1 with no proxy. And then we'll do 2 others with proxies included. Now, we're going to go ahead and check off login required because we do not need that. The only other site that requires you to log in would be Concepts. but we'll go over that as well. It's literally just the same thing. You're just logging in though. All right, so have our profile, boom, type for our first task on Shopify, 10 a.m. sites dropping. No proxy. All right, we have that inputted. Now for everything else, it will have a proxy inputted. So for example, let's say we're still going to run type. We're still going to run the type profile, and we'll just choose a random proxy list. There we go, NA. Now this time around, we'll have one proxy, boom. So just in case my local IP gets quote unquote banned by Shopify, soft banned or whatever, which it technically isn't, but that's just how the anti-bot works. I still have 2 separate proxy lists to depend on that I can still hopefully check out on, which is a good thing. Now everything's set, 10,000 milliseconds, 10,000 milliseconds. Now one thing I will say, I don't really recommend it to you guys, honestly though. I don't recommend it at all. And also do not forget about concepts. Let me go over that as well. It's literally just the same thing. Hold on, let me copy and paste this to make things a little bit easier. Let me go over concepts, because as you guys know, concepts always drops. Undefeated always drops. Kith, DSM, Jimmy Jazz, DTLR when it comes to certain Yeezys. So let me see. Let me go ahead and put that in. Boom. Login required. Test. Boom. You can go ahead and get yourself hooked up. And like I always say, you can use the share monitor if you want to, but I always leave it checked off because that's just not how I do things myself, honestly. All right. But like I was going to say before, if you want to use the monitor for the Yeezy drop, you can. That's completely fine. I would not recommend it at all personally myself. That's just me though. But one thing I will say though is that if you are going to do this and use the monitor as a whole, I will wait till like 9:55. Wait till closer to the 10 a.m. drops. Because if you do it the night before or something like that, you're going to be getting everything from every single region. You're going to be getting stuff from DSM New York. DSM Singapore, DSM London, and everywhere else. So I would just wait until like 9:30, 9:55-ish to actually put in the Yeezy 350 Israfil keywords for all of your tasks. I would wait till then. And of course, when you do this, we have Cyborg 3.0 check. It will have voice capture checked as well. Now, you can put in a proxy list. I would definitely recommend it because when you do it this way, a whole crap ton of sites are going to drop. So definitely put in a proxy list. If you do no proxy, you're a soldier, and RIP to your local host proxy. So definitely use a proxy list. But also, if you want to get a little bit more specific with the general site that you want to drop, for example, let's go back to concepts. For example, you just want to pick up for concepts. You'll use the share monitor, and that activates the blue task. So instead of it being a gray task, it will be a blue task. You have to all input it. Of course, you require your login, and you'll have everything set already as is. So now you hit submit. So now literally it's monitoring just for that site in particularly. So whenever it drops, hypothetically, if a shock drops or anything like that, you can just come over here. Let's say you're asleep or something and it drops while you're asleep. It'll try to go ahead and check out, but you can go ahead and have a few blue tasks running if you want to for particular sites only. Don't just, I would rather you do something like this and have blue tasks for specific sites than to just run literally every single site, because that's a lot. That's seriously a lot, because these shoes may drop on a lot of sites via Shopify. I'm not sure. Like I said, this is just task setup. This isn't about going over the drop as a whole. This is just setting up your task. But you can if you want to, you guys, but I wouldn't recommend it myself. I would just try to dial in on a few specific sites like Kith, Concepts, DSM New York, DTLR, Jimmy Jazz, Undefeated. And that's if DTLR and Jimmy Jazz end up dropping the shoes, which they probably will, but don't quote me on that. All right, but this is for Shopify. Now let's head on to Yeezy Supply now. Now for Yeezy Supply, if you don't have the SKU, you can always come to the site, and typically they'll have the product already loaded on the front end of the website already for everyone to see. And typically once you click on it, so for example, if we go home and you want the adult version of the shoe, you click on it, then look in the URL, and you'll see the SKU is right here for it. So you just want to take that. Now when setting up tasks for Yeezy Supply, you can actually come over to CAPTCHA and log into the advanced solver. Select site, Yeezy Supply. Now if you have, for example, a specific Gmail that's on a proxy, you can input that, or if your Gmail is on your local host, you're going to leave that as is. Open the solver, All right, now you just want to open a new tab and log into your Gmail and leave that running in the background. Now, with this as it stands right now, you can create as many tasks as you want to Yeezy Supply. Like with the advanced solver, you can run as many tasks as your computer allows. So let's go to Yeezy Supply. Boom. Put the PID in. Billing profile type. Advanced, let's go with the 6500 milliseconds for both. Make sure you have great proxies for Yeezy Supply because they ban everything. All right, number of tasks. Now remember, you can run as many tasks as your computer allows when you're running on the advanced solver. Now, if you're using the regular solvers, do not do that because your Gmails will be fried, extremely fried. Now for sizes, like before, 4.5, 5, 6, 6.5, 7. Now for the number of tasks, we can put that as, for example, let's just say 50, because hey, you can run as many tasks as your PC supports. Now don't try to do anything crazy like 500, 1,000 tasks or anything. Now if your computer is optimized for that, that's completely fine. But if it's not, please don't try it because boy, you're definitely gonna blow up your computer. But it's literally as simple as this for Yeezy Supply, guys. Now you can take this and also apply the same thing to Adidas as well. Adidas and Yeezy Supply, they're carbon copies of each other and how the site format is and everything. So number one thing, wait until the developer says start your task, then start your task. Don't start your task when the splash page goes live. Wait until they give you the green light to go ahead and start task.